Okay, now we're going to be multiplying binomials that have two variables. Again, we have two binomials here, and you see them. This one times this one. And so there's really no difference, and it's the same process that we use to multiply binomials in one variable. So I'm going to take, there are two terms in each binomial, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to multiply them by each term in the second one. Same thing with the second term, multiply it that way. So let's go ahead and do this again. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to take my 5x and I'm going to multiply it by 3x. So I have 5x and I have times 3x. And then I'm going to add 5x times 8y. So I have a 5x times my 8y. Okay, now let's take a look at our second term. So my second term is of positive 4y. So I have plus 4y times 3x. And then I have another plus. Every time I do this, I'm going to add or subtract, depending on the signs, the multiplication. So I have 4y times 8y. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. I have now 4 terms, and what I want to do is I want to simplify each of the terms. So I multiply the coefficients. I get 5 times 3 gives me 15. X times x, remember these are x to the 1, that's just going to be x squared. My second term, 5 times 8 is 40, and I have an x and a y, and I can't combine them because they're not the same variable, so I just leave it at xy. The next group I have is 4 times 3 is 12, and I have another xy, and my last is 4 times 8, which is 32, and I have this time a y to the 1 times a y to the 1 gives me a y squared. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm going to take a look. I see that I have two like terms, so I can combine those. So I'm going to write, I still have my 15x squared, but now I have a 40 plus a 12 gives me a 52. So I have 52xy and then plus 32y squared. And I'm done. And that's as simplified as it gets because if you take a look, each of these variable parts is different. Right? I have an xy and then I have a y squared, so they're not the same variable parts. So this is simplified. Okay, let's just try one more. Again, I'm going to take my first term of my first binomial, so I have an a times a 5a, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I have plus my a times a b. Next group, I have plus a negative 8b times a 5a, and plus a negative 8b times b. Okay, so we're going to start simplifying each one of our 4 terms. Here I have 5a squared plus ab, and then I have a plus. This is going to be negative 8 times 5 is negative 40, and I have an ab plus a negative 8b squared. Okay, I can combine these two terms because this is just a 1ab and a negative 40ab gives me a negative 39ab. So I simply have 5a squared minus 39ab, and this plus minus 8b squared, I'm just going to make it a minus b squared because adding the opposite is the same as subtracting, right? So my answer is 5a squared minus 39 AB minus 8b squared. And that's as simplified as it gets. And again, if you want to take a look, the variable part is a squared. It's not just a. The exponent goes with the variable. The second term has the variable part as ab, and the third term has the variable part b squared. So none of them are alike, so you can't simplify anymore.